This video brought to you by our Patreons. Please consider supporting this channel and joining our Patreons at patreon.com/NovaWing24. Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 30th of August 2020 for another exciting episode, and what a bumper-filled episode that this is, and very telling about, I think, the direction, at least for the short term, the community or developers are going in for the moment. Alright, so let's jump straight into it this week with probably the biggest, not the biggest, but the newest market in the simulation world, of course, that it being of Microsoft Flight Simulator releases. And starting this week with the release from Flight Simulations of their rendition of Frasca Field. Now, this developer is a fairly new developer and had released this product for X-Plane 11 a few months ago, and I actually reviewed it for the X-Plane 11 version on my channel here several months ago, and I am looking forward to bringing you a review of this field very, very shortly. In the interim though, so this is a ultra high detail rendition of Frasca Field as it appears at the start of 2020, including full PBR integration for all objects, high detailed textures and photo real imagery, as well as fully compliant realistic night lighting and hand painted ground textures. It looks like the developer has really gone all out to actually making sure that they've updated not just the field but also the surrounding area as well, which they did for the X-Plane 11 version as well. So it'd be interesting to see that. I'll make sure I do some before and after video reel of Frasca Field before I do review it. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes. But of course, one of the big features that was always important about this release from Flight Simulations was the fact that they modeled a lot of the key points of interest markers and things that the VFR flight pilots rely on when they're actually approaching the field. So it'll be interesting to see how both Microsoft and Flight Simulations render it in the new simulation engine. So if you want to pick this one up, it's coming in for about the standard price from these guys for $10 or your regional equivalent, available now from SimMarket. In another Microsoft Flight Simulator release, this time from developer Stalwart Latin VFR, saw them release their rendition of Miami International Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. This one is a high detailed recreation of the airport and taking advantage of all of the new and amazing features of Microsoft Flight Simulator, according to their press release. Includes all realistic, so all the terminal buildings, cargo buildings, and airport buildings having been overhauled using MSFS PBR materials. Full implementation and updates of realistic airport lighting, full support for the taxiways, aprons, and runways, all sloped using the native systems inside the new sim, as well as being updates for performance across all major types of systems as well. Full set of customized jetways and customized train animations are also included, as well as all of the, once again, as with all of their releases, accurate airport gate parking information to current real-world airport layouts, which means that it must have had an overhaul, or potentially it has had an overhaul since it was released for the ESP Sims a little while ago. So you can pick this one up available from Latin VFR directly for $18 or original equivalent, available now. Continuing on with airport releases this week from the guys over at Sierra Simulations. So they released this week of Antonio Nariño Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. This one is a Colombian airport and is a interesting airport, and is known as being a challenging approach in the real world as well, because it's actually built high on a plateau that rises 50 meters above the surrounding terrain. It's a regional airport, quite a busy regional airport, servicing a very large area, accommodating a large family of a variety of carriers, mostly using the Airbus A320 extended family of airliners as well. One of the things that makes it so challenging is the weather conditions are very variable and very quick to change at that airport as well, which is why it's known as a challenging approach, and I believe it featured on one of those National Geographic specials of the most dangerous approaches, because of the wind shear that can happen and the changing with weather conditions from the surrounding mountains, and the wind shear across the edge of the plateau. It does make it very challenging and very dangerous approaches, so it'll be interesting to see how that performs in the new simulator as well. So if you're, as I said, but this rendition, as it appears, no date is specified. I'm going to hazard a guess that this looks like is a new product from Sierra Sim Studios. So I'm going to guess that it's probably fairly recent. So 2019, 2020 era. Is both and models both the military and civilian side of the airport, including all textures and models based on photoreal imagery of the airport, local and aerial. Includes photoreal textures for all buildings and vehicles as well. Full PBR textures used throughout, a variety of custom ground airport objects as well as a custom set of realistic night lighting for the airport as well. So overall, looking pretty good, I have to say, in this new sim engine. If you want to add this one, you're looking about paying around about $15 or your regional equivalent, available now from Sierra Sim. Continuing on with another airport release. Lots of airports this week, I can tell you that, guys. There's lots and lots of airports coming out here. So the next one comes to us from Foxhound ULM. I'm not sure what the ULM stands for, but there you go. I'm loving the company name, though, because foxes are awesome. Anyway, moving on. So this is their rendition of, and I am no doubt I'm going to butcher this, Peyresourde-Balestas Airport in the French Pyrenees, which, funny enough, it was just kind of cool. The prelude to the James Bond movie Tomorrow Never Dies, this is a random piece of trivia that I learned from this one, that the prelude to the movie Tomorrow Never Dies was actually filmed here, like on this airport. That's really kind of cool and awesome. Now, this is an interesting airport because it's a sloped runway. So this will be interesting to see how the developers actually made use. Obviously, one of the things that that Microsoft Flight Simulator has become known for very, very rapidly is the quality of its sloped airports and its undulating nature of even if it's flat, in inverted commas, airports. So very interesting to see how this one, because I think this might be the first third-party release that's used a excessively sloped mountain runway. So this should be interesting. So the surrounding scenery for the approach has a lot of mountains, as it is nestled in the Pyrenees, and the airport supports a full range of custom airport objects, all designed for the airport, including full use of PBR material throughout the airport and materials as well as update of the runway slope to make sure the runway is now accurately sloped with data from both real runway comparison and VAC data. Now you can pick this one up from SimMarket, coming in at a $9 or your original equivalent, available now. In another airport release this week from Gaia Simulations, so the release this week of their rendition of Vienna International Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now this one has previously been released by the team for both Prepared and X-Plane, and they're saying that it's not a port over, that it is a ground up rebuild of the airport from them, making it fully compliant with the new Sims SDK, making use of a variety of features, including the Sims native jetway functionality and plus support for Gaia Simulations custom animations as well. Now it says it's up-to-date and accurate rendition of the airport, so whether that means it's been revamped over its previous editions, I'm going to have to assume that it does, but I said I can't find anything definitive about that one. Includes a variety of custom static aircraft. All airport buildings are done, including some with interior modeling of the terminals as well. Full set of sloped and undulating runways as well, with a variety of custom ground vehicles suitable for the airport as well. Includes a full set of custom night lighting effects to be used through there, and full support for PBR materials throughout all of the buildings and all of the ground textures as well. It also has some of their custom handmade animations to help bring the airport to life as well. Now this one you can pick up coming in at $20 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. Continuing on with other scenery releases, again another one from Gaia Simulations saw the release this week of their rendition of Kos International Airport, which I believe has also been produced by them for other platforms previously. This rendition, there's not a lot of information about this one, because this one's, I believe, it's pretty much only just come out. But looking at the screenshots, it looks like they've modeled not just the airport, but it looks like they've modeled the surrounding area as well. It looks like probably the whole island, including a lot of the custom points of interest, including a variety of wind turbines, churches, and other visual references that are important for the approach path in and out. So, as I said, not a great deal of information about this one from the product page from this one, but I can tell though that the whoever's taking their screenshots has made use of the livery pack that's been available for the default A320neo that comes with the SIM. Now, if you want to pick this one up and add this one to your SIM, you're coming in looking at paying about $19 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. Continuing on with more Microsoft Flight Simulator scenery releases, again from Orbix, this time from their internal developers of their rendition of Santa Barbara Municipal Airport. And again, this is another one of those airports that previously has been released for the other flight sims and has now been made available for the new platform. This rendition is, again, not a port over. It's been a rebuild of it, so it's come through and updated to include the support for local photogrammetry data that ships with the sim as well. Includes full renditions of the buildings, both interior and internals, including some of the interior of the terminals are included as well. Full support for PBR textures, PBR buildings throughout, including and a support for complete dynamic and emissive night lighting as well. Variety of custom ground service equipment and custom vegetation and trees native to the area have also been included for the airport and the surrounding area as well. And this is optimized for all systems as well, and a variety of different aircraft types, as the real airport also supports both a regional airliners as well as GA services as well. Now, if you wanted to pick this one up, you can pick this one up coming in at about $15 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. Still with Orbix on more releases. This week we also saw the release of their rendition of Hollywood Burbank Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And again, once again, another one of those airports that's previously seen life in other platforms has been brought over into the new sim. Again, an updated build, so to make sure it's fully compliant with the new Sims SDK. So a full, complete ultra high definition rendition of the airport, including custom modeling throughout, with fully supporting the new Sims PBR textures as well. Full support, a full set of custom static aircraft and ground service equipment for the area, as well as support for default the photogrammetry in the surrounding area as well. Custom vegetation, grass, and non-airside detailing, so areas of the surrounding areas that are not covered by the photogrammetry, also included as well, and updated weather influenced ground polys as well, as along with their PBR materials as well. So this one's coming in at $19 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. And in the other release from Orbix this week was the release of a free airport for the new Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's a really, really cool detail one. This is Fairways Airport, which is really interesting actually. I kind of love it. So it's a Oregon airport, this one, in parts of northern Oregon, and it's nestled between, if I remember this, if I look at reading this correctly, it's nestled next to a golf course, hence the name Fairways Airport. Now this is a custom airport, which is 100% only available. It's a custom 100% built just for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It is not a port over. It is not a rebuild or anything like that. It is developed from the ground up purely for this sim. It is not available for any other platform. Includes full set of custom high resolution PBR buildings, a full custom set of 30cm pixel ortho imagery for the airport as well. The runways, their sloping and undulations have all been modeled accurately according to local experience as well, and designed to blend and give you a chance to a stepping pad or a launch pad to be able to head and look at the beautiful photogrammetry area of that covers Portland and Oregon City in the sim as well. And this one is available free from Orbix Direct. In another free release for the new sim, AEROSOFT released their first airport for the new Microsoft Flight Simulator and did it for free to the community. They released their rendition of Paderborn-Lippstadt Airport in Germany. Now, this is a full high detail rendition of the airport as it appears. I'm not sure when. There's no sort of information about that, and I don't know the airport well enough to be able to give you any other information about that. But it does have current. It says current runway, taxiway, and stand layout. So I'm guessing it's as it appears in 2020. Includes the all airport buildings are modelled, including the main terminal is modelled both internally and externally as well as support for custom jetway models and custom windsock models, as well as support for all the physics and all the elements of the new sim as well. And that one is available free from the AEROSOFT website. In another release for Microsoft Flight Simulator this week, and this is not an aircraft, but it will help those who are perhaps unfamiliar with the A320 and its processors. FS2 Crew released their first product for the new simulator this week by releasing their FS2 Crew Flight Crew A320 button control project this week. Now, this one is interesting. So in the legacy sims, this add-on would sort of essentially replicates a first officer being present with you in the cockpit, and would actually do certain parts of the checklist because checklists are often managed by both the pilot and by the first officer, with certain tasks being assigned to each. And normally in the sort of ESP version of this, the prepared or FSX version of this product, it would have a virtual first officer would do the first officer roles for this one. At the moment, FS2 Crew are still working on the SDKs. This is a work in progress, but they are fairly happy with where it's. They're happy enough with where it's at the moment to be able to bring it to us. And it does mean that it actually goes a full workflow of the A320neo checklist based on real world checklists. Includes a full set of new custom sounds as well for doing flight crew callouts and flight crew interaction as well, with a variety of things. However, it does have one limitation. It also includes a newer user interface system, new audio system, some additional functionality as well for when you're using their checklists, and 3 voice sets, including US, UK, and German voice sets are also included, as well as a variety of cabin announcements are included as well. Now, it does have a limitation that it notes at the moment, is that in the that there are certain in the functionality where a first officer would need to press a button or flick a switch or whatever in the cockpit. Currently, they can't. They are still working through the SDK, so that currently it won't actually do that. So you will still have to click it, but it'll say first officer to. For example, the example they use is that during the shutdown workflow, the first officer is supposed to turn off the fuel pumps. Currently, when it gets to that part of the workflow, the first officer can't do that. The virtual first officer can't do that. So you still have to click the turn off the fuel pumps. But it will still give you that immersive experience of being engaged with the workflows as well, which expand on the very basic checklists that are included with the sim by default. Now, if you want to pick this one up, it's normally going to retail for about $25 US, but currently they're on a launch special at the moment for about $18 US. So if you, they're only offering that as an early adopter promotion, which ends at the middle of September. So if you do want to get involved and help the team develop and fine tune it as well with a wider user base, grab in now, or otherwise just wait for it. Otherwise just get a hold of a great product at a great price. And that was available now from FS2 Crew. Continuing on with other releases for other simulators now. Yes, there are simulators. Other simulators. The guys over at FSX Scenery, so this week released their latest airport by releasing an airport that I actually know, which is Sault Ste. Marie Airport in Canada. So this is a very sort of a small sort of hybrid GA / regional jet airport servicing the Canadian side of Lake Michigan. The far eastern end of Lake Superior at the beginning of St. Mary's River. Not much more to say about that. The press release and the information of that is very minimal. Looking at the screenshots that are supplied, it looks fairly consistent with the standard stuff from FSX Scenery. So reasonable photo reel, fairly basic buildings, but it does update the airport for that from the basic default sim that comes with the sims with FSX and prepared. Now, if you wanted to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for $15 US or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Turning to the X-Plane 11 world, this week we saw a release from Flying Iron Studios with their release of their rendition of the P-38L Lightning. So, a fascinating aircraft that I've always loved, and it's the nickname of the Forked-Tailed Devil. Though whether it was the demon of pilots or the enemies remains somewhat of a point of contention. But anyway, so the Lightning was a twin-engined, twin-tailed aircraft during the Second World War, designed to serve as a long-range escort fighter, but would actually end up serving both as a fighter but also as a ground attack aircraft as well, with a huge amount of success in all theatres of war during the Second World War. Now, this rendition comes to us from very experienced studios, Flying Iron, and they have done an incredible detail. And speaking with a couple of people who've purchased it and picked it up so far, they're very impressed with it. And the fact that it comes with a highly detailed and high quality and extensively detailed and accurate 3D model of the aircraft, both internally and externally. A full set of Ultra HD 4K textures internally and externally as well, obviously supporting PBR as well. 9 included liveries are included with a variety with a paint kit as well. Incredibly realistic and accurate flight model and system simulations as well, including all of the including an accurate code-driven replication of the Lightning's fuel, hydraulic, propeller, cooling, and electrical systems. This is an aircraft, from speaking with people who've purchased this add-on, you can't just jump in and fly. You actually need to read the manual and actually follow this system to actually just even be able to start the aircraft, let alone fly it. So yeah, because it comes with a very highly realistic engine startup modeling as well. So please do not forget your checklist when you are flying this aircraft. Also incorporates a weapon systems as well, with the nose guns as well, and is also compatible with X-Plane's weapons weapon system in terms of bombs as well. Also incorporates an optional GPS unit if you do want to have a few sort of modern luxuries as well, and an Avitab integration with a variety of custom setups as well. Now you can pick this one up for over at xplane.org, coming in at $40 or your original equivalent, available now. And leaving the flight simulation world and moving into the world of the permanent way, so a couple of releases for Train Simulator this week. The first one being the release of, and this is for the classic Train Simulator, so Train Simulator 2020. Why is everybody obsessed with putting numbers at the end of stuff? Anyway, moving on. So the first release we saw this week was the release from Travel by Train of their rendition of the Norfolk Southern GP50 High Hood configuration diesel locomotive. So this was an interesting sort of reading of some of the history of this. Is that this locomotive was basically only ever designed to be a transitional model. There was the long-lived and well-established GP40 from the same manufacturing yard. And they'd already designed their electric motive diesel 60 series locomotives that were coming in they were going to be coming into service sort of in the late 80s and early 90s. So, but there needed to be a production run of a train that was able to do, long haul travel with, and pull a large amount of cargo, very large load. Had to be produced and had to supply the interim market during the 1980s, and so the GP50 the GP50 series was born. It ended up being surprisingly successful for the manufacturer, with 5 different buyers purchasing 278 units across this 5-year production run. Now, this particular rendition is the GP50 in the high hood configuration, and is modeled with all realistic details and operating controls based off a real train line, and is complete with the Norfolk Southern N-line route colors as well. Now, it's also designed and optimized to work with the Norfolk Southern N-line route add-on, and includes 3, as well as the train includes 3 career scenarios for that route add-on. Now, if you want to pick this one up and add this one to your train library, you can pick this one up for $20 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. In another release for Train Simulator 2020 this week, we saw the release of the Frankfurt Koblenz route add-on for Train Simulator, which is a very picturesque and beautiful line going through some amazing scenery, especially from the time that I spent in Germany. I didn't travel through train through this part of the world. I drove on the autobahn, but I have to admit that it is an incredibly beautiful part of the world. Absolutely, spending time on both autobahn and on the River Rhine as well. Now, this particular layout of the route is as it appears in 2019, sort of 2018-2019 era. In fact, actually, it has to be 2019 or 2020 actually, because one of the 34 high detail stations that are included on this route was only actually opened in 2019. So there you go. It is a very up to date route, this one. So as well as the 34 detail stations along this route covers 130 kilometers of route, including the all the way from Koblenz all the way through to Frankfurt main airport. It does also include both the regional and long distance stations at Frankfurt Airport as well. Includes Gateway Garden Station, includes a variety of liveries for other trains, including 429, 411, 423, 101, 185.1 and 294, all in the custom liveries representative of the ones that ply this route on a regular basis. Along with that includes 7 career scenarios and 3 railfan scenarios are all included as well. And you can, if you want to add this one to your collection, you can pick this one up for $40 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Moving out of the permanent way and onto the asphalt, saw the release this week from TML Studios of their rendition of Man Lions Coach 3rd generation for both Fernbus Simulator and Tourist Bus Simulator. All included as part of the 1 DLC. Now, this includes a high detail rendition of all 4 variants of the 3rd generation of the Lions Coach, and all developed under an official license from MAN as well. You have a variety of options, including the optional OptiView camera system, variety of different wheels, rims, or and with different hubcaps options as well. Full accurate layout of the driving cab, including driving systems, including 12-gear automatic transmission, and a variety of reactive dashboard displays, all in faithful as well as the startup interlock system is accurately modeled as well, and a variety of other features, including driver monitor navigation, kneeling systems, usable driver window and sunshield, and full lighting systems included as well. Now, if you want to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for $13 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Continuing on the asphalt, but moving to a very different speed, saw the release this week of Project Cars 3. I must have missed the boat on this one because I had no idea that this was... I sort of knew it was in production. I didn't think it was this close to being ready. And from looking at the feedback on Steam, a lot of you are not thinking it's ready either. So, what do you get with this game? Is it the same game or is it something new? That's a really good question. So in their description, it includes over 200 race and road cars, over 120 global tracks from various places around the world included, a variety of race conversion kits, custom garage system as well, where you can buy and own a variety of the in-game cars. Includes a variety of custom car liveries with racing and community inspired elements, driver personalization as well, and a variety of gameplay updates, including a fully scalable assists for all skill levels, which that's actually impressive. I'm impressed with that one, much like Microsoft Flight Simulator doing the same thing as well. A variety of updates to the handling engine as well. A full set of it's a full 24-hour day-night cycle with dynamic season and weather racing supported as well. With updates as well to the crash effects and car contact effects, as well as enhanced AI as well, including a new and deeply engaging career mode, going everything from Weekend Warrior to Racing Legend, and with a variety of other new compelling multiplayer and community modes, and fun and exciting daily challenges. That's a really generic, really bland press release that I'm reading to you guys. Like, not a lot of details here. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. As I said, the feedback's coming from the community seems to be very, very mixed. Now, this one's come to all platforms. So this comes to us from the same developer, Slightly Mad Studios, been released across multiple platforms, including PC and consoles as well. So this title's been released in two different versions. So it's released with the base edition and then with a deluxe edition. The deluxe edition includes the season pass, which is available separately as a separate purchase if you want to add it on later on. The season pass will give you eventually access to 12 totally unique and desirable cars, according to the press release, over 60 career tours and hundreds of customization assets into the future. So yeah, no idea how many. So it sounds like it's going to be 4 packs at some point in the future. So there you go. They've also, interestingly enough, released a they've released a additional pack, the Ignition pack, which they're offering for free to users until the 28th of September, after which you'll have to pay for it, but no idea on how much how much you will have to pay for it. It just gives you a couple of different new visuals to your sim, including additional license plate styles, some racing numbers, and additional liveries and decals for customizing your car. So if you want to pick this one up, you can pick the base game up for $60 on your favorite platform, and if you're purchasing the season pass, it's an extra $35 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam or your favorite platform. Moving from the asphalt and moving on to the sports field, this week we saw the release of a Madden NFL 21. I'm going to be straight out of the gate here and say, guys, I have no idea about any of these sport games. They always confuse me, but this one comes in a couple of different editions. There's like so little information about what's new in it. It's so generic, the press release about it. It's sort of like, it's like master innovative running elements, rise of fame, become immortalized as you transcend NFL history and shape your path to greatness. It's like it says it delivers new features and modes, and I'm like, it's just nothing about this. Anyway, but there are 3 different editions available. So there's the standard edition, which includes the base game, and then you've got the deluxe edition, which gives you an additional 7 packs of the Madden Ultimate Team Gold Team Fantasy packs. No idea what any of that means. Or you have the MVP edition, which includes 12 of said Madden Ultimate Team Gold Team Fantasy packs, a Quick Sell Training pack, a Madden Championship Series Ultimate Champion pack, and a Lamar Jackson Elite item with Power Up. No idea what any of that means. Sorry, guys, I don't. I don't. I'm sorry. These sport games just always confuse me. But if you are going to pick this one up, you can pick this one up either from your favorite PC retailing platform, whether it be Origin or Steam. You can pick this one up starting at $60 or original equivalent, available now from your favorite retailer. And finally, rounding out the NovaWrap for this week with someone that is kind of hilarious, kind of cute, kind of awesome. We saw the latest piece of DLC get released this week for Planet Zoo, and it is the Australia pack. It is so darn cute. Like, it is seriously cute. Okay, so we've got new animals here. So we've got the koala, the dingo, the red kangaroo, the southern cassowary. Those things are terrifying, by the way, just in case you need to know. And the eastern blue-tongued lizard, which are super cute. They are cute. And various different ways to make sure that you care for them, with over 230 new scenery pieces and a variety of different indigenous and native flora and fauna to be able to support them as well. All looking pretty cool, looks super cute. Available now to expand your Planet Zoo options, available for $10 or your regional equivalent, available now on Steam. And with that, folks, that now rounds out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. All right, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.